Not on live here so late at night. It is late for an old guy. I usually hear at 9 o'clock in the morning, not 9:30 at night. But what the heck? Actually, I was reading something today, and boy, it's easy to get paranoid, when you read these kind of notes in the paper. I mean, because of the inflation, okay, we're running about, I don't know, 9-10% or something like that. At least that's what Europe, I think we're a little less, 7 or 8% inflation. But here's what's happening. So that's 7 or 8% inflation, okay? So now, but you go to the grocery store and look for eggs. Okay, well, they went up 25%, not 8 or 9%, 25%. Now, where that, so something's going on. Also, what happened is, what else? Potato chips. Oh, potato chips went up 25%. Eggs went up 50%. Boy, those chickens are getting overpaid, aren't they? Soda went up 25%. Now, why are all these things going up 25%, 50%, or whatever? And our inflation is only 10%. So wouldn't the average be that? Yeah. But look what's happening. Now you look at the companies, their profits are going up 17%. Their profits are going up 20%. So in other words, the inflation is being hampered or worsened because people are sneaking in more profits, right? That's what it sounds to me. I don't know. I'm not an economist. I don't play one on TV. I got a lot of courses back in the day, but that was way back in the day. But I mean, if we're going along and all of a sudden inflation raises the prices on everything of 9%, but you're paying 50% more. So why are you paying 50% more when it all went up 9%? Okay, now, so that's the other thing. Now, companies, okay, are going along and the inflation goes up 9% for them, but their profit goes up more. You think their profit would go down. If their expenses are more, then their profits should go down, but not up. So their profit goes up when everybody else has to pay more to them. So their profits goes up when everybody else can't afford anything, So there's something behind all that. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not, smart enough to figure it out, especially on the back of a napkin. Yeah, that's what I'm using. But what I want to do is make sure you know about the programs that are out there to solve the inflation problem. Because remember, every year the government gives out like $14,699 per adult every year in grants. So if you're not getting what you're owed to in grants, then, I mean, that's a place to start digging, for money. I'm biased, so don't trust me. I sell a service that helps you find this stuff. So I'm very, very biased on all this. But I'm trying to show you my logic anyway. So you have, $14,000 that you could get from the government because that's what the average person gets. So are you getting that? And so now you're in a trouble where everything costs more. So to me, it's sort of like, hey, you should check out what the government has to pay your daily expenses. There's all kinds of programs for everything. Now I'm gonna show you a bunch of programs to start with. Okay, these are a bunch of. You don't have to pay me any money. I'm gonna give you the websites to start to find out how to get these this money so you could pay your inflationary work life that you got now. Okay, here's one because this is also. Your biggest problem with inflation too is your utility costs. Okay, there's something called LIHEAP and then .org. LIHEAP.org. Biden just put in a whole bunch of new money in that program for you to pay your utility bills. And in the winter, the utility bills is going to go up just because it's cold. And then because of inflation, it's supposed to go up even a hell of a lot more. So you want to know about that program because that's government money you could use instead of your own money to pay for these extra charges, okay? Now, you have rent And mortgage payments, okay? Now, they probably didn't go up much, or rent seems to be going up. Mortgages, new ones go up, but the old ones don't, unless you have something that goes up with inflation, then you're screwed. But I don't know if they're as popular as they were like 20, 30 years ago. Okay, here's the organization to start with that. It's called ncsha.org. NCSHA. I'll put in the description in YouTube here. Of all these websites. So you have LIHEAP.gov and then NCSHA.org. Now what that NCA, that's an Association of State Housing Finance Officers. And they have a state-by-state listing of the major programs for paying rent and the major programs for paying mortgage. So you go to that website, you find out where the office is, where you live, contact them and find out about help for paying rent, and then another office you'll have to contact. If you're not paying rent, you got a mortgage, to help for that. And they also have money in those programs to pay for utilities and even moving costs and insurance and pay taxes and all kinds of stuff are in there. It's really a Christmas tree kind of thing. Okay, now another thing that you're in debt probably, right? How are you going to pay your debt? Okay, and that's a problem. Okay, go to this government website to help you. HUD.gov. HUD.gov. Now remember, every website I tell you will never ask you for money. See, unlike Google, which all they want to do is get your money so they could, the advertisers could pay Google and continue paying Google because they got money from you, okay? These websites you don't find in Google because they don't pay Google any money. They don't pay me money either, but they give you money. And that's why everything I give you is a website that gives you money, HUD.gov. When you get there, you want to look for counselors because what they deal with housing, they deal with rents, they deal with credit card problems, all these kind of, if you want to refinance and how to do that, if you're afraid of foreclosure, they have special programs for that. This is free stuff. It's all free stuff. You're going to go to Google, you get some lawyers going to charge you $10,000 for this stuff. Okay, now there's another new program out that Biden put out, which will be a lot because what's happening, a lot of your expenses are going because your energy use is high, so you have a big energy bill. So to cut that, Biden's program is grants to pay new utilities, new appliances and heating and cooling system, roofs, windows, stuff like that, to cut down your utility bills. So if you could save $1,000 a year on utility bills, but they're going to give you grants to buy the new stuff to save you $1,000, okay? And you save $1,000 forever. See, that's another way of doing this. So if someone's going to give you, like this program will give a household up to $14,000 to buy new equipment. So you get a new heating and cooling system or whatever, and you could save maybe a couple $1,000s a year with something like that. Now that's cool. And you find out about that. Now that just passed. So that's in the system somewhere, and it's coming down to the local, but it's not there yet. It's going to take a few more weeks or maybe a couple months to get it down because there'll be the grants are going to be given out at the state level. So they don't know where that is. But here's a website to keep up on where that is, and that's CleanEnergy, CLEAN, Energy, ENERGY.gov. Go to there, find out when those grants are coming. Keep an eye on that. Okay, now, the other thing is, okay, you have food problems, you have utilities, you have healthcare problems, you have job problems, you got education problems, legal help, almost anything. You need help shoveling your sidewalks, anything like that. My two favorite things are go to 211.org and findhelp.org, okay? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and also for, you're hurting for groceries, okay? They're going to know about the latest programs that are available for those kinds of things. and it's all, everything in their database are nonprofit organizations. You need a better job. You need to get trained. You need daycare money. You need to take care of somebody, a loved one, and you don't know what to do. All those kinds of things, living expenses. These are the nonprofits that are the backbone of most societies that keep going together. You help with daycare or something like that. All these kinds. You need help with taxes. These are all free services that are provided by either government offices or nonprofit organizations. See, everything in Google is really to make money. None of these programs make money. So that's where you want to find out about it, is the places where they give you money, not you give them money. Right? Thank you for helping so many people. Oh my God, I need to go to training. Transcript, what was that? Oh, good. Tammy, I need to go to training to be a transcript for real. Oh yes, well, go get free training, Tammy, to learn that. And go to your career one stop. I don't have that in here, but that's another one. If you need extra income or a better job and things like that, then it's career, CAREER, and then ONESTOP.org. Okay, so now that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 websites, okay, that help you get. Now that's not everything. That's just a start. So you have to start there and then expand it from there, and that's what life means, is expanding something, and it means digging. When you contact these people, if they can't help you, then you say, where else can I help you? Like for rent, you go to this program I gave you, the website ncsha.org, and find the local office for rental grants. That's just for the national program. Now, there's 6 or 7, I just did a video on this earlier today. There'll be 6 or 7 other local offices, that give out grants for rent, in the same way for mortgage. And you have to find them. And that means making a bunch of phone calls and finding who it is. So like one of our members wrote in today about how, she's finally realized, hey, it is all about calling, because that's how you get the good stuff. You don't get the good stuff by surfing the internet. You get the good stuff about buying stuff on the internet. So if you want to buy something on the internet, surf your heart out. If you don't have extra money to buy something, then you can't do that. You got to get on the phone and talk to these people who know. See, the people like HUD and NCSHA, I mean, they're in the business of helping people who don't have money to solve problems. They're the people you want to talk to. These are experts in what you're in the middle of, okay? That's what they spend their life trying to think of policies to help people like you, okay? And that's what's important, to find those people who know what's out there and know what's coming out there. So you get ahead of the game, not behind the game, because that's what happens. You get on the internet and you're behind the 8 ball, because you're going to go to Google and all you're going to get there is people who want to get money from you, but you don't have money. Remember, you don't have money. So get off of Google. Don't do that. Anything you want to get on Google has to be a .org, O-R-G, or a .gov, G-O-V. They don't charge money, but they help people. See, I mean, everybody doesn't do everything for, only for money. I guess we should. That's what capitalism is. But there's also nice things going on in our country. We're trying to solve problems as a community. And I was successfully used this website. After signing up, I was told I would need a grant writer. No, you would. I would never tell you need a grant writer, because 99.44, 100% people don't need a grant writer. You must have been on somebody else's website, Anonymous, because I keep saying, I've been saying this for 50 years. You don't need a grant writer. I need your help, please. Well, you were looking for my help. I'm on letsgohelp.com. And that's a place where we help people one-on-one. You tell me what you're looking for. I gather together the sources where you live, and to start doing it. You can ask me 100 questions a day. We train people on how to do this. We have a video, live video training going on right now. That was a scammer. Yep, it certainly was. Thanks, Jen. I love this. Okay, hi. Well, that is a whole suit. See it? See the pants? Parchment match. And one given you website. I use the one given from you. I don't know. I never said that. Well, I don't know what somebody else says or why or whatever. And if things don't work, you got to try again. I mean, that's the name of the game. Nobody can give you one website and guarantee you're going to get money. Nobody can. Nobody can guarantee you'll ever get money from anybody. You can't. Only people giving out the money can guarantee you're going to get it. Me or anybody else who doesn't hand out money, but we do hand out money. We became profitable about a year ago, and since then we give out grants to our members because the members give us money. So if we have extra money, we give it back to the members. And mainly because we're giving it back to the members is that members help members. I mean, there was a comment today from a member how she was helping another member who was taking care of her mom with cancer. Now, this other member told her the website that she could get help for herself as a caregiver and for her mom as a patient. See, I mean, finding things like that is very difficult. So she already knew it, she researched it, found it, and they share it. So we have thousands of members now that are helping other members with things like that. Hey, I just got this for my mom. You could use it too. And the person was so delightful, to have that. And that's, to me, what's going on in Let's Go Help is members helping members. That's another joy we have of giving profits back to members because they're becoming more important than we are. People like Mo and myself and other admin people. I see people like Tammy. She's a member helping the hell out of members, and because she's got probably close to $100,000 of grants from the government, and she wants to make sure other people do it, know about this, and so she shares her personal experience, and that's better than me's pontificating about what the hell's out there. Yes, I may find out it's out there. Let's see, how can I get a grant for the homeless or are you going to be homeless? Go to 211, that's a good place, they'll know, for the homeless or get housing for the homeless. Or do you want to provide that service for people? If you want to provide shelter for homeless people, then you go to your county housing and community development office. They'll have something similar to that, and they all get grants from HUD and everybody else to try to solve that problem. And I didn't do a video on it yet, but they just got a whole new bunch of grants for people who want to help members. Help potentially homeless people with housing. And there's big grant money for people who want to start serving that as a for-profit or a non-profit or whatever, and that's new money coming down. We're going to throw more money at that because it's a big problem. Washington, D.C., tripping over people all the time. I'm out in the street all the time running or whatever, and I know them all. And I make them smile and say hello, take a few words, and it's there, but for the grace of God, you or I could be there. And that's what's important. Where do I go? Crystal. But it's important that you know about these services. And unfortunately, I should not be doing this. But now, after 40, 50 years of researching these government programs and waiting for the government to have a single source to do it that is user-friendly, they'll never get around to it. They have grants.gov, and that's not bad, but it's not good for the average person. So ours is, down on the street person talk, no jargon, and nothing, and then members that chime in, like Tammy. Hey, this is how I got it. This is what I did, and that's what we need. We have to learn that system because it's not easy. Because every program is voted on with laws and something, so they have to give out the money according to some law, and it's not an overall thing that, well, we're going to start the government tomorrow and we're going to build all these agencies. And no, you can't. You're laying over stuff. You're laying over stuff on other stuff. So it becomes an octopus. And you can, if you find the string, you could pull it there. So we teach people that. And I think that's very important to teach people how this operation works. Number one, because it's all free to everybody. Number two, you have a right to do it because you pay taxes. You're no different than Donald Trump, who uses the hell out of these programs. He's a billionaire because of government programs. Yeah. So if you want to be there, this is a good source. And when I started doing this business, I was helping millionaires become billionaires. And I got sick of that. And I said, well, how do I help the average person do this? Yeah. And at the time, before the internet, it was only books. So I wrote books, so you buy a book for $20, $30. Yeah. But people didn't do much when they got a book. You just got a big stack of paper, a tree, a forest, or whatever that I'd send out. And, it was hard to navigate through that. So that's why with this, we're getting more positive feedback that I've never had in my life, never had this much, never had more satisfaction. I mean, we must have 500 wonderful testimonials of people who actually went through and got, everything from $500 to $500,000, all kind of levels, all kind of incomes, all kind of age. It doesn't matter. This is not for poor. And the government thinks you're poor now at like $250,000. No, that's true. I mean, if you need grants to help for daycare, income is up to $400,000. Can you imagine that? That's for a couple. So one person is $200,000, and they're giving grants for that. Now that's just not. I don't understand that. Housing, maybe this is more thing. They consider you low income up to $125,000. Now you could go to school for free, at state universities if you make less than $125,000. So poor isn't poor like I remember back in the 50s. I thought you had to live on the streets like the homeless people I find now. But they think you're $150,000 or $400,000 that you're poor and you need help. Every year it seemed to go up. 21 goes up. I didn't. I'm in Cincinnati. I need a lot of remodeling of my old house, a bathroom. Yes, there's a lot of programs for that. If you remember, I send you a report of all the programs in your area. And what you have to do is start calling. You find one, you call. And if that doesn't work, then you say, hey, where else can I look? Because they are more likely to know where else to look because they're in that business of helping people in your situation. So that means they contacted other people before and who've told them, hey, here's where I got help. And so they're in the business. They go to meetings with other people and providing services like so they know. And that's why the key to doing research is talking to people. So you have to get on that phone and call in order to get something, because it's complicated. If you read something on the internet, it may or may not be true, and it's just interpreting. See, and because the government has to use jargon legally, because that's why people, if you're looking for a grant, well, only 20% of the free money that the government gives out is called grants. So by law, they don't even call it grants, but it's free money. So if you're calling up for a grant, you're missing 80% of the money, free money, and that's incredible to me. So that's why it's don't. You got to get out of that. There's too much jargon. We don't. It's not clear and simple, but it is understandable if you take the time. If you take the time to talk to people, not read some. Oh, it doesn't say grant for me. No, screw it. It doesn't say grant. Well, no, they use other words that you're not familiar with, and they've been doing this for years, and you're just parachuting in and helping community. I thought, way too much jargon. Yes, it is, but it's not going to change. If you want to change it, then you go get a law passed. Okay, we're not in the business of changing the government. We're in the business of teaching you what is there and how to use it. And changing it, I don't think you and I are going to live long enough. I don't want to do that. I want to solve your problem today. And the only way I know is to help you understand what is available to help you make a decision about your options. The problem is you come in with an answer already. I need a grant to do this. Well, that may or may not be true. And what you have to do is go out and investigate what are the options out there to do something else. Okay, you want a grant to go to school or something, but what happens if somebody says, well, no, we already paid for this school over there. You could go over there and don't worry, it's free. So you don't need a grant. You don't need anything. But we don't know that. So that's why you go with a bigger objective. I want to start a business, not I want $100,000 to start a business. That's it. No, I want a good job, not I want this and I need a grant to do that. That may be, but you don't know your options and you don't know even that's true or not. So that's why you have to really go out and be like a scout, a scout, back in the cowboy days, the scouts went out, and then probably Indians, because they were fighting Indians, right? And they go out and find out where all the battlefields are and who's where and everything, so the generals could come in and say, okay, go over this way, that way, that, whatever. So you need a scout. That's what you need. You need a scout to go out there and find out what's out there, so you know how to use what's out there to your advantage to do what you want to do. See, you have to be more open-minded and general about what you want to do in life, but we come in with specifics, and that may or may not be out there. So you're eliminating things, and you won't do what you want to really do because you're not open-minded enough to figure out how to use what's out there. And that's what happens, in Let's Go Help With You. If it doesn't work the first time around, come back and we brainstorm about another way to do this. There's lots of ways to skin a cat, and there's lots of ways to get through life, not just one way that some guru said that this is the way to do this or whatever. Maybe for him, but everybody else is just going to give him money and fail. You got to find out what's good for you and what works for you. We're all different plants, and you can't just rely on it. You take little bits and pieces from other people that have something, particularly if it's a source or a new idea or whatever. I mean, maybe it's TikTok videos. So you could advertise on TikTok for free. So why pay anybody money when you could advertise for free? And the most important thing about advertising is knowing what sells. Advertising is easy, you just spend money, but it's not easy to get money back. It's easy to spend money, and that's why everybody's. What happened to me, the first couple of businesses that all failed because I was believing salesmen, that they said, oh yeah, I'll make a lot of money doing this. They made a lot of money, me doing that, not me. So now, until I know my business and know why people buy and what they will buy and what they will pay for, I don't. If you have something advertising something, I say, okay, fine. I'll split the money with you. So every sale you get me, I'll give you half. Okay, you want to do that? No? I don't know if it's going to work. Why should I give you money to test if it's going to work or not? Do other ways. There's too many other ways now in our social media to test all your ideas and to see if things work. You do that for free. You don't piss away money like that unless you have it to piss away. Then if you're lazy and have lots of money, then you do it that way. And people do it, and that's who the advertisers want, are lazy rich people. If you're one of them, God bless you. But most of us aren't, and so we have to do it grinding up. And most big companies today started with a push cart and no money, and that's how you start things. If you don't have money, and people do it all the time, people who think they need money are just listening to other people who have money. So that's all they know. But you don't, so you can't do it that way. You got to do it something else. And I got a report that shows step by step. If you remember, I send you all these things for free. Everything, once you pay us $20, you don't have to pay anything else. And by the way, we only have about 3 more days, but the 4th, November 4th is the deadline for our grant, which is November 4th, midnight Eastern Daylight Saving or whatever it is now. I think it's going to change next week, right? So midnight, and then we start a new one, and we give $40,000 now every month. This year we're going to give out probably close to $400,000, $500,000. I mean, we're a small little business, so that's huge for me. It's always been huge. I'm not a big guy. In Washington, that's chump change, but here it's for us and me. I mean, that's big. I never thought I'd be able to do this, and that's to me one of the things I really take pride in, that we're able to do that. So the grants we get, the profits we get, we give back to members, because members who have a problem they need help solving. Members who know somebody else in their family who needs help, $1,000. So you could apply for somebody else, not only yourself. You could apply for somebody in the neighborhood who you see who's maybe homeless or whatever, needs some help. You could apply for them, and the money will go to them. So, and we choose about 70 people every month now, and it takes a lot of manpower for us to do this, but it feels good, and we all enjoy doing it. And to be able to help somebody, I think the most selfish thing in the world is giving, because it feels so good, doesn't it? So we got to get in the habit of doing it more, but capitalism sort of tries to knock it out of us, and that shouldn't be. I mean, a good community, we have to live together, and living together means giving and helping and all that kind of stuff. Not screwing the other people, but there's some of that. You want to be competitive, but you want to be nice too. Okay. I wish it was March. Well, you're out in California, Tammy. You don't know the difference, do you? Between March and November is 70 degrees all the time. Listen, my voice is going. I've been at this all day. I got more questions to answer, and like 2 days before the end of our grant period, which it is tomorrow. Today the first, I guess tomorrow's the 3rd. That's when it's our busiest time ever. So excuse me for now, and I'll be back soon with a brand new show. Okay, and don't forget we have 2 platforms now, because a lot of people don't like Facebook, and we don't either, but we're there, and a lot of the stuff is done there. But you can get the same thing on our Let's Go Help 2.co, and you could join there. But if you join on Facebook, letsgohelp.com, that goes to Facebook. letsgohelp.com. Let's Go Help 2.co goes off of Facebook. So if you're not a member of Facebook, you want to go there. But if you're on Facebook, you could get Let's Go Help 2 for free. So you never pay twice. You can use both of those platforms with just buying it for once. Okay, and so you pay once and you use both. Okay, so don't worry about that. But a lot of people just don't want anything to do with Facebook, so we have a place for them to get all the services, and that's at letsgohelp2.co. Okay, ain't this good for Oregon? Yes, it's good. We cover the whole United States, so don't worry about where it is and where it's not. Okay, been doing this a long time. Okay, guys, thank you so much.